Welcome to the Seahawks Man to Man podcast, powered by Blue Wire. Shout out to the new company. My name is Michael-Shawn Dugar. You guys can follow me on whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. My at name has not changed. It's right under the A on the athletic hoodie as well. Oh, raised the wrong side. Oh, I just did a very poor job of plugging the. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Stop acting like a rookie, Mike. All right. Anyway, shout out to everyone watching, listening, YouTube, Seahawks Man to Man is the name of the channel. Seahawks Man, the number 2 man. Go ahead, like, subscribe, hit all the good buttons. I would appreciate the love and support. Same thing on Instagram, TikTok. Seahawks Man to Man is the name of the handle on there. Please hit all the good buttons, share, whatever it is, whatever the kids are doing these days. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chris, I also have to start remembering review the pod as well. Positive reviews are very good as well, particularly on the audio platforms where I'm gonna get that into the intro. I don't have a smooth way of doing it, as you can tell currently, but I will do that eventually. Anyway, Chris, talk to him.
Well, shout out to all the 216 people that have left reviews on Apple. I don't think you can leave reviews. You can't write anything on Spotify, but I do know we have like 300 on Spotify. So for all you on Spotify that have done it, appreciate it. And to Mike's point, yes, if you haven't, go ahead and do that. That'd be nice as well. And yeah, you can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206.
All right, it's an abbreviated week. Did I use abbreviated right? Yeah, let's
You
go with that.
did.
It's okay, cool. Just in case I did not, it's a short week. I know I used that right. Seahawks. By the time you listen to this, I'm in the air. I'm on the way to Arizona for Thursday night football. Seahawks first primetime game of the season should be very fun. Hashtag big game in the NFC West, especially when they're already 0-1 in the division. But before we get to that, Chris and I have reviewed the tape. We watched the Saints game. It was very good tape, very fun. Unless you were root for the Saints, then it sucked, and I would not suggest watching that. So we're gonna do our one big thing, one a piece. That is, Chris has one big thing. I have one big thing from the Saints game, from the tape rewatch. We will not do an opponent preview because it is a short week. We just ain't got time for all that, very, very busy, and hardly anyone ever covers the Saints. Or excuse me, hardly anyone covers the Cardinals. That is. There are people that do, so shout out to y'all. But anyway, so one big thing after the rewatch, Chris, I'm not going to give you a choice this time because I need to look up some more stats. So you go ahead and go first for your one big thing after rewatching Seahawks Saints.
Absolutely. So with me, I am going one big thing: Seahawks offensive line and the pass protection. As through 3 weeks, it's held up. When I went back and listened to Mike McDonald's radio show, he talked about how good the offensive line has been in the pass protection, and that's a thumbs up if you're a Seahawk fan, because last year it was not good, and neither was the run game. At least this season, they have one thing kind of figured out through 3 weeks, and they're still working to address another, which is the run game. And through those 3 weeks, Mike has pointed out, and even I've noticed in going back and watching the film, that there have been a lot of times where that pocket is very clean. If you have children, which Mike does, he has two little gremlins running around the house. They probably don't clean up after themselves yet, but I can only imagine when they do the right thing and pick up how clean it looks. So just imagine you have a kid, it's a mess, and they clean it up. It looks really nice. That's how the pocket has looked for Sam on a couple of possession, a couple of drives, a couple of his nice throws. It has looked very, very clean. Now, versus the Saints, I'll be honest, he was pressured a couple of times. Yes, there was a couple of plays where I'm wondering, I feel like they missed an assignment there. And one specifically that stood out to me against the Saints was it was a 2nd and 10, and they sent it was a 5-man pressure. Number 21, Justin Reed, he was coming in on a pressure/blitz. And I'm 99% sure they didn't want to leave defensive tackle Brian Breesy uncovered to try and sack Sam Darnold. But we have witnessed that Sam is now Sam Vick, and he has a little bit of escapability. He's done it a few times throughout this season where someone's about to sack him and he finds a way to make a play. If you guys remember against the Steelers, he did the same thing. Patrick Queen had a beeline to him and he did a 360 and was able to find his tight end for a huge explosive and a first down. He did it again against the Saints. And it looked to me like it was a blown assignment, and he was able to actually find JSN, who has been his go-to guy, and he was able to find him for 29 yards. So that was a poor example of Sam Darnold being flustered and making something out of it. But if you go back and rewatch the game, he had a clean pocket example as well. And one that stood out was a 2nd and 9 on the Saints 37. The Seahawks come out in, I want to say, 12 personnel. So that's going to be 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a running back. And on this play, it's a play action pass. And for one thing, as I mentioned, the Seahawks have figured out the pass protection for the most part. They're still trying to find the rhythm in the run game because this hasn't been consistent enough. If you guys looked up the stats and saw how K9 rushed against the Saints, it's not pretty. He did have 2 touchdowns, but shout out to special teams and defense for giving them short fields, and they were able to counter with scoring points. But as I mentioned, on this specific play in 2nd and 9 on the New Orleans 37, they have 2 tight ends. So those tight ends will be Eric Saubert and AJ Barner, 2 wide receivers, JSN and Torrey Horton. And on this play, as I mentioned, it's a play action pass. So Sam is under center. I'm sure if Mike looked at his notes, he has a lot of UCs under there because the Seahawks are doing quite a bit of that. And it's a 5-step drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, balls out. And he delivers a beautiful pass to AJ Barner. Again, a situation where the pocket is clean. It is nice. And you would want this because it takes a while for AJ Barner, who is 6'6", 260, to do this corner route. But when he gets to the back, when he gets to his last step of the drop, the pocket is clean. He can clearly see the line of field. He sees where AJ's at, and he delivers a strike for a first down. And again, it's a tight end running a corner route. If it's not blocked up well, it's going to be a sack. It could be pass. It could be a bunch of other negative plays. But because of the offensive line doing such a phenomenal job of protecting Sam, he's able to deliver a nice simple pass. And it's just one of those moments that you're saying, wow, this offensive line is definitely improved. And they sent 5, so it's pretty much, hey, 5v5. Block the guy in front of you, protect the quarterback, and they did a fine job of that. So if they can continue consistency in the pass pro, actually, they sent 4 dudes. They sent a fat guy, dropped the fat man in coverage. So it was 4v5, and they handled it quite well. But that's just, I'm loving that Sam has time. And one of the things prior to Sam coming to Seattle was, well, when we found out Sam was going to be a starting quarterback, it was, okay, can the Seahawks give him time? Because you guys have heard the horror stories about what happened towards the end of the season last year for Sam. It didn't end well because of the pressure and things of that nature. Well, so far through 3 weeks, he's been okay. He's only been sacked 3 times. So he has made some plays that have been incredible using his legs and his escapability, basically the Houdini act. But for the most part, the offensive line has done a pretty good job. And then if you guys remember, he had a really deep pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba in the second quarter on a 1st and 10, a shot play, as you would call it. And it's another clean pocket, although he did get hit late by, I can't say his last name. It's God. Oof. Defensive tackle. We're just going to call him that. Number 92. He does get a late hit on Sam Darnold, but prior to that, the pocket was really clean, and he was able to deliver a strike to his favorite guy, JSN, off of another, if I'm not mistaken, was this play action? Yeah. Was it play action? Now I gotta take a look myself, but just another good clean pocket. Yeah, it is a play action. So as you can see, the run game might be a struggle, but as long as the defense respects it, that's what you're looking for. And then, as I mentioned, another crisp and clean pocket. And again, they're using 12 personnel, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and a running back. This time, it'll be Cooper Kupp, JSN, Eric Saubert, and AJ Barner. O-line creates that beautiful pocket, allowing the deep post to get open, which is JSN. And Sam does what he does best, delivers a beautiful ball on time, and it's 45 yards. So, again, through 3 games, Darnold has only been sacked 3 times, and I think this offensive line can only continue to get better. And maybe I should be careful with my words because I'm the same guy that believed last season the offensive line couldn't get worse. I'll just leave it at that. Everyone knows where I'm going with it. So right now, the offensive line has been doing a fabulous job in pass protection. Hopefully they can keep it up and then take the next step and do that in the run game. That way, Zach Charbonnet, K9, or whoever gets opportunities can have success on the ground. Then that makes the play action pass that much more deadlier. So for me, one big thing was looking at the pass protection and the clean pocket that Sam Darnold has been getting on some of his looks to JSN, AJ Barner, you name it.
Yeah, shout out to the O line. Good job and Sam too. I was looking this up for a story that should be out by now. By the time this pod comes out, Sam has the second lowest pressure to sack ratio as well. So even when he is getting
My stat
sacked,
guy.
yeah, even when he's getting pressured, it's not turning into sacks. Obviously, he only has three, and I think even the two of those sacks are running back issues. I want to say one of them was I think K9's fault in the Steelers game. The other one was actually don't know who that fault was, but I know three people blocked TJ Watt. So the math does not check out on that. Uh, probably the tackle's fault. I don't know. I have to go back and look at that. Point is, like, it's not. He's not getting pressured a lot. And then when he is handling business. Chris, before I go to my one big thing, can you guess who has the lowest pressure to sack ratio in the league?
Quarterback wise? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
which quarterback is mitigating or is mitigating pressure the best? I guess that's
Oh,
how we
that's a
can
fabulous
gauge that
question. I'm
stat.
trying to think. I'm
But
going to say
yes,
Daniel Jones.
it is Daniel Jones. Yeah, it's Daniel Jones.
That
Yeah, it's
was a
Daniel
wild
Jones.
guess.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, I think, and it's a crazy number too. I can maybe look it up a little later. But Sam, I think, is at like 10% pressure to sack, and Daniel Jones at like 5. I think Daniel's the only guy in single digits. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the Colts games, so I couldn't tell you why that is. But
Mm,
Daniel Jones is high up there in a lot of numbers. He's the only guy averaging more yards per attempt than Sam too. Him and Lamar actually. Yeah, whatever
wow.
Daniel's doing in Indy, it's crazy. Like maybe the problem is Brian Dable over there.
Mm.
Anyway, not a Giants pot. Anyway, let's move on. Quick little tangent there. Uh, my one big thing after rewatching Seahawks Saints is the interior defensive line of the Seattle Seahawks. Those guys are like animals. Those guys are just built different, And when I'm watching these guys, it feels like um sometimes in sports, like the coach gets fired because he can't get them over the hump, for whatever reason. I can't think of a baseball example. I don't know the sport too well, but then so you see that in basketball sometimes where it's like, okay, you keep losing in insert playoff round here. We gotta get you up out of here. Like you're not bad, but you're clearly not getting us over the hump. I feel like that happened in Toronto with the Raptors before Kawhi got him over the hump. Maybe notably for people who don't follow the NBA too closely, Golden State is probably the greatest example. Mark Jackson had him rolling. Steve Kerr took him over the top, right? And I feel like when those guys, when the team eventually gets over the top, I feel like you want to pour one out or, for the coach that quote unquote died for this. And I feel like Clint Hurt and Pete Carroll died for the D line to be this good. It really is just special what we're seeing from all the guys. Like it's exactly what you would imagine if you're John Snyder or you're his scouting department, or even if you're the fans, and you're like, oh, if this guy takes the next step, if this guy does this, how Chris in the offseason, everything is like, if everyone takes that leap, if everyone plays to their best, fans are, all of that is happening with the interior D line, with Jay Reed, with Leo, with Murph, and even D Law when he plays in there. But I'm specifically talking about those three. It is just pure dominance. And this is the vision. This is what Pete wanted after that Niners game in the playoffs. When it was like, oh, hey, Pete, what do they got that you don't got? Up front, I believe Mike Salk on 710 asked him something to that effect. He was like, why are there so, where's the gap between you two as teams? And he was like, look at Pete was. Pete was like, look what they got up front. They have disruptors every single snap, third down, early down stuff, run game. They can do that. And Pete was basically like, we can't. We got to get more dynamic. I think that was the buzzword. And it took some time, but Chris, they're here. This is the type of front that wins you championships. You need other parts, but it was just so clear. And it's not just this game. I could have easily had this be my one big thing, literally any game this year. I'm just choosing the Saints one because um, it was fun. It was fun to watch. It couldn't block Murph. Couldn't block Jay Reed. I mean, couldn't block anybody really. But couldn't block Leo. And what those guys are doing on a down to down basis is real. It's not splashy stuff all the time. It's a lot of like take this double team, take on this block so Ernest can make the play. Regular trench stuff, but what they're doing is special. And I love when I'm watching something and the numbers support what I'm watching. So, for instance, rushing the passer. Jesus, man. These guys are beasts. So I looked this up while Chris was going. So these are pressure numbers from True Media. I decided to make the minimum drop back or minimum snaps as a pass rusher. Decided to make it 30, so just like 10 per game. There's no real math behind it other than that. So just take that for what it is. So that eliminates blitzers. Basically, I don't want any DBs in my sample when I'm trying to assess the good pass rushers, right? So 200 guys qualify for that, right? And a league average is about 10.9% as the pressure rate, all right? So average 10.9. Just keep that in mind. The Seahawks have 4 guys above the average and pretty comfortably above it in some cases. Number 1 is D Hall, about 15.5. Jay Reed, 15.3, Murph, 14.3, Mafe, 12.5, and right around the average is Leo at 10.3. So, and Leo ranks 101, Mafe 71, Murph 47, Jay Reed 35, D Hall 32. All right. So, you got 4 pretty well above league average guys, and then Leo right at there as a pass rusher, that is specifically. And that's just one metric. True Media, obviously, how they do pressures and stuff like that. If you want ESPN's pass rush win rate, which is measuring different things, that measures if you just won. Whether you made the pressure or not, did you win your rep. And they have ways of doing that. I don't have to go through their whole methodology, but to see where the Seahawks rank at that, among edge rushers and pass rush win rate, say that 5 times fast, Chris. Mafe is 4th among edges, and D Hall is 13th. Jay Reed is 5th among interior guys. Murph is 13th. And then in run stop win rate, also say that 5 times fast. You have 3 guys in the top 10 at their spots. Leo's 6th, D Hall's 3rd, and D Law. Oh, D Law is 3rd, and D Hall is 8th. So pretty much whether it's run or pass, no matter what metric you want to use, the Seahawks front, particularly their interior 3, is killing it. Then if you expand that to the edges, they're killing it. That's how you win a chip. That is. And it's the Saints. So I want to get away from maybe specifically this game, even though it's the one big thing from this game. But just the one big thing from this game reinforced the thing for the whole defense. I think the last or these last 3 games, it's really impressive what they're doing. The combination of is what stands out, I guess, schematically, quote unquote, as well. In this defense, the Seahawks play basically like 4 down linemen, essentially. You got 2 outside backers and then 2 guys in the middle most of the time, unless the team uses a fullback, then you're talking like getting 3 guys in your base personnel. Seahawks don't run base that much. I don't have the numbers on how often they do it. They just don't. Trust us on that. We've seen it. So I bring that up because if you're gonna defend the run at a high level with basically only 4 heavies, there's already 5 linemen. If the team brings in a tight end, you are really undermanned there. You need guys who are playing like grown ass man in the trenches, and not just like, oh, I'm gonna take on this double team. He's splitting double teams and making plays. Murph is splitting double teams and making plays. Like it is just crazy good stuff. So not only are they doing the dirty work, like trying to set up the other guy, they're taking that the next level and then making the play. And then when it is their time to get the one-on-one, because that's how this scheme works. Like a lot of guys wear the hard hat, and then there might be a play where, hey, dude, this is you. Go in right now. This is your play. Based on the alignment, personnel, whatever, it depends. And they're just all winning all the time. It is really impressive stuff. The sack numbers are kind of whatever. Murph's got 2.5. I think Leo's got like 1 or 2 half sacks, however you want to count that. So the numbers aren't popping up. They're not. And they may not. to be honest, because it's just hard to get sacks as an interior defensive lineman. But it'd be real hard to find a better front than what we're seeing from the Seahawks in the inside. I think Cleveland is probably the team that comes to mind. Their front is very good. That's why the Packers could not move the ball at all on Sunday. It was bad stuff. Um, the Seahawks are in that realm without having a Miles Garrett. The Seahawks have their front is right up there with like Cleveland, like Green Bay. Um, I think who else? The Niners front. Like this is you can put their front right now in their play up against anybody, but I really think it starts in the middle. The middle is where the dominance is, and it's so tough to watch. There are just some plays on that tape, boy, from that Saints game where you're just like, does Leo? Do they think Leo has COVID? Like, why are they nowhere near him? It is bad stuff. And Leo just has a play or two every game where he just manhandles the center or manhandles a guard and just it's big boy football. When Jay Reed said in the offseason, we're bringing back real physical football, like he said it and like he meant it. He's mic'd up in one of the training camp practices and Sherm's there. And he says it to Sherm on the sideline. He's like, yo, dog, we bringing back hitting around here. Trust me. He living up to that. Like those guys are balling. I wish we had time to do standout plays because I'd probably have like an hour long clip of just those guys manhandling them. And it, for what it's worth, it is not just the interior guys. Like as I read off of some of those numbers, the outside guys are playing well. It is like I was just telling Chris before we recorded, it has to be a statistical anomaly for a team to be pressuring at this level and have their edge guys with no sacks.
Mm.
Have no sacks. D Law, no sacks. D Hall, no sacks. Mafe, no sacks. But the game film is not lying. Those guys are affecting the quarterback and making it very hard. Like this is what Pete was talking about in 2022. This is the B dynamic. It would be nice. I'm still of the impression, Chris, if they like had their version of a Micah or a Max Crosby or a Trey Hendrickson or a Bosa. Who else is a good edge rusher? I can't think of any edge rushers. I miss any good edge rushers.
Hutchinson.
Oh yes. Aiden's a good one. Like it would be nice if the Seahawks had one of those, like a guy like, okay, he's probably gonna get like 13 sacks for us. TJ Watt, there's the other one I forgot. It'd be nice. That'd be cool. But for now, they just have ass kickers in abundance. And because they're so good, they don't even need the depth that much. They're not playing that many snaps because teams are three plays, punt. Three more plays, punt. I don't need to bring Quentin Bohanna in because we just three plays and punt. That's it. Shout out to Mike Morris too. He played a good game as well against the Saints. But yeah, I think that was my one big thing because of how not just because how good it's been or how good it was against the Saints, which it was, and it's been all week, all season that is. But this is what John Snyder was looking for. It's what Pete was looking for. It's what Clint Hurt was looking for. Probably Ken Norton too, to be honest. We need to have the advantage up front far more consistently to win, to really compete. The rest still needs to fill itself out as well. Back end, you need good linebackers, yada yada yada. But when they traded for Leo, this is what they were thinking. We can have this. This before they had Murph, obviously. Then you add Murph, though. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is gonna be like Chris, the end of the year where we're like, oh, the Seahawks just have the best front in the league.
Mm.
So pick them. I remember when we had to do our picks for the Athletic, would have us like make game picks all playoffs, like all the beat writers, and we'd have to write like a little blurb of why we picked them. The year the Rams won the Super Bowl, I wrote the same thing every week.
Aaron
They
Donald.
have the best front. Well, yes, but they have the best front because their whole front was good that year. I was like, oh, they have the best front, picking them. They have the best front, picking them. Are they going to beat Joe Burrow in them? Yes. Why? Oh, because they have the best front. Like, particularly the defensive front, because that Bengals O line was trash. But and the same thing when I was picking the Eagles all last playoffs. Oh, they got the best front. Bang. The only team, like Chris, I underestimated that with was that Bucks front that Brady had. But then I went and looked back, and you're like, oh my goodness, the cats that they had on that Barrett, Vea, I don't have to name everybody right now, but like that front was very loaded. I should have known they were going to beat the Chiefs in the COVID year. But you can just kind of go down the line. Team with dominant front has a really good shot, to win on week in, week out, and especially in the playoffs. So, um, yeah, man, shout out to those boys in the trenches. Chris, what we should do is we need to find out if we can get a nickname going for the big boys. For Jay Reed, Leo, and Murph. So it should be our goal. By the next show, we should have one, especially if they win, because the Cardinals, we need to have that. And see if we can get help from our listeners as well. What you guys think for Jay Reed, Leo, and Murph? Because they are playing to the point of needing a nickname. They are playing at that level. I don't know if any other position group is, but they've earned that for me because they were this good last year too. But then they keep it going and just take it up a notch. Yeah, they need a nickname. So help us out, guys. Let's get a nickname for the big boys. Whatever you
Wow.
got. Throw us some stuff. You think so, right? Like they're jumping off the tape. It feels like.
Nah, you ain't lying. The past 3 weeks, I've been posting clips on my Instagram like, yo, look at Leonard Williams. Yo, what is Demarcus Lawrence? Like, I've already grabbed a few clips and I'm going to post tomorrow. I'm just watching Demarcus Lawrence pop a guard in the chops and then go and tackle the running back for no gain. He has like 2 yards to make this move and he's able to just make a lineman go 2 yards backwards and tackle a running back for no gain.
Oh,
It's
you
kind of
mean like when they're
insane.
doing like the pullers when they're pulling? Uh,
All of it, all of it.
yeah.
It's
And,
crazy. You would think a 340-pound lineman can move a 270, 280-pound defensive end, but Demarcus Lawrence is like, nah, fam. What are you talking about, bro? This is what I do. Get out my way. I'm making this tackle. So it's always fun to see. Even with Ernest, he's taking on fat men, or he uses his quickness, and he's incredible to watch. So it's to your point. We do have to come up with a nickname. We have homework now. Thanks a lot, Mike.
no, they've earned it though. They've earned it. You're right. Like the more I think the combine stuff is a little overrated, but the more you watch some of these guys, you do see why like arm length for your D line matters. You can see that with D Laws, his arm. I don't know what they are, but his arms are very long. And just the bench press, like because to your point, D Law just be bench pressing dudes. Like just get off me. Like they just can't move them. The Saints were trying to run like a bunch of like count in interior runs where they were pulling guards and stuff, and Mike
Yep.
Morris and Murph and Tank were just like, no, we're not allowing that. And it really is the
Uh,
physical football that they said they would play. That's they're backing that up. I really hope that continues against the Cardinals on national TV. I would love for the TV shows, all of them, Fox and ESPN, NFL Network. I want everybody singing the Seahawks praises um, on Friday because they've earned that. If they go out and beat the snot out of the Cardinals, which I think they will defensively, I want people being like, "Oh yeah, the Seahawks got the best front in football," and they won't be wrong if they say that type of stuff. It's real. They have it, and it's fun stuff to
ooh.
watch. Unless you're a fan of the other team,
Spitballing. Just we don't have to agree, but maybe like the Havoc Crew, DA Havoc Crew, the Havoc Crew.
the Havoc like
Yeah, but
HAVOC,
but we spell DAHAVOC, the Havoc Crew.
the Havoc crew. All right, I'll write it. Oh, you'll probably write it down. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
let me write it down.
yeah. Well, it's recorded. We got mics on, so there's that.
Wow, how silly are we, watchers and listeners?
Yeah, yeah.
These
There
guys are
is that.
adults.
Yeah, no, there is that. Yeah, I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I think it's something. If they beat the Cardinals, I'll try to have at least one suggestion of my own. Maybe I'll ask some guys in the locker room because that group, this is what it looks like. It is like they're having guys like play at every level. Murph's playing really good, probably like borderline Pro Bowl nose level. Leo is playing at an all pro level. And then
Yeah,
JB's like the steady, really solid guy. Like they just got every part of it, not just a bunch of really good dudes, just like or a bunch of decent guys. It's like, okay, no, this dude's playing super high level and then down and down and down. It's kind of like what the Giants tried to build, drafting Kayvon, keeping Dex,
Abdul.
um, yeah, drafting Abdul Carter. Like they're trying to build that. It doesn't seem to be working. But like this, the Browns doing the same thing. You know, the guys they brought in, paying Miles to stay, drafting that Mason Graham kid from Michigan, and what do you know? Bringing in Malik Collins, the Browns front is crazy too. So Packers, same thing. Uh, yeah, Seahawks are right there in that combo. Niners as well. Good front, even without Bosa. So yeah, we need a nickname because those guys, yeah, they've earned it.
Well,
They've definitely earned it.
make sure you throw in the Havoc crew to them and see what they think. They might get a chuckle out of that. Yeah, man, that might work. We'll see. But
I will present it to
yeah,
Murph. He'll take it the best. He'll take it the best.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
I feel like it has to have big. Now I'm not really thinking about it. I feel like it should have big in it because because Big Cat.
Okay.
Something with big. That's all I have for now. That's all I have. So yeah, stay
Hey, that's a
tuned for
start, man. That's a
more
start. Shoot, all I
suggestions.
came up was the Havoc crew. So I mean, we came up with Seahawks Man to Man just sitting at a coffee shop in on Rainier at Starbucks. So I'm sure we put our brains together. We'll figure out something for sure.
Yeah, give me. Yeah, let me. Yeah, give me some more time. Thursday night. I'll have something by Thursday night if they win.
Well, that's a lot of pressure. You said next week. Now you're saying Thursday night. All right, there you have it,
Yeah,
folks.
they just got to beat Arizona because when you ball out on prime time, you get that. You
Oh,
get that.
that's true. As you mentioned in the
Yeah.
last episode we did, balling out definitely on a national stage is definitely going to turn the national media saying, "Oh my gosh, you know this team is actually A, B, and C. They can do this, this, and this." So, yeah, to your point, if they get a big win and they do it in not to blow them out, but if it's a convincing win, that's definitely going to turn some heads nationally
Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah, and I think what'll help too is who does the Thursday night? Is it Chris Collinsworth from them? No, that's Sunday.
no,
It's Al and Kirk, Herb Street. That's right.
yep.
Um, what'll help is I feel like those guys and Collinsworth, they're good at the minutia of the trench play. Like they'll make sure
Mhm.
that the cameras get the slow mo on the Murph taking on the double team, you know, or Leo splitting the double with the little graphics and all that, and how fast they got there. You know, that's just the advanced stuff you don't get with the regular Fox or CBS broadcast sometimes. Sometimes they just move on to the next play. There is no replay of anything. I hate it. But the national, for real, sometimes I'm like, dog, I really wish I could see that again. And they just don't show it. So the national games, I think, are really good for the trench guys and DBs in that way as well, especially Amazon because they got the all 22. So, big opportunity, I think, for the whole defense, but really those trench guys to show the world how good they've been playing through 3 weeks.
There you have it, folks. One big thing. Be sure to check out our TikTok, Seahawks Man to Man, our Instagram, Seahawks Man to Man. We'll be posting content throughout the week. So you never have a dull day with us. There's always something up there. And as Mike mentioned earlier on the show, yes, we haven't asked to have people leave reviews since I think we first started this podcast, Mike. It's been that long. So yeah, if you haven't left a review yet, go ahead, leave a review, write something via Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. We appreciate all the love and support. Mike, I heard you got a book out, man. Go ahead and plug that.
Oh, here we go. The franchise Seattle Seahawks, curated history of the Legion of Boom era. Yeah. Available wherever books are sold. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, your local bookstores in Seattle. Go ahead and grab one. Shoot, tweet me when you do. Hit me on Instagram, Blue Sky, whatever. I love seeing the pictures of the book. It warms my heart. Thank you so much. And if you're at a game, home or road, just let me know. Bring your book. DM me. I will come find you and I will sign your book, take a pic, whatever. I appreciate all that love. So we'll come back with our post game show after Seahawks Cardinals. That'll drop Friday morning. Yep, that'll be a late one for us Friday morning. Until then, you guys enjoy the game. Appreciate the love. See ya.